I rather like Leopold.
We shall be fine.
I'll come and tell you the good news.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Doctor? Victoria or Albert?
My dear fellow,
Boy or a girl?
there were complications.
I think not. My wife is very straightforward.
No. No. I'm sorry. Mrs. Chipping did not survive. We tried to save both. We saved neither.
No, my wife is a very heavy sleeper. We joke about it.
No, my dear fellow. Not just yet.
And the child?
It would have been Albert.
When he looks up, show the April Fool sign. Quick, hide it.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Today, gentlemen, we will return to the familiar territory of the Gallic Wars of Caesar.
Please, sir.
We shall as ever translate.
Please, sir. You've received rather a lot of letters, sir.
Book 2 from the beginning. Who shall volunteer?
When Caesar was in yonder Gaul,
Hither Gaul.
in hither Gaul, in winter quarters. Sorry I'm late, sir. Thus we have shown above. Frequent rumours were brought to him. And he was also informed by letters from Labienus that all the Belgae who have said are a third part.
Mr. Ralston.
Welcome, welcome. We were not expecting you until later in the week.
And you are?
I am Chipping. I have the honour.
Latin.
Indeed, Headmaster.
Long serving, I believe. Therefore, an excellent guide for my tour of the school.
Don't look so depressed, it's only a pose. What is saying here? The man is going, no, go on, man is going back to the
This must be Herr Stiefel.
Stiefel, Max Stiefel.
How long has he been here?
A wonderful teacher and colleague, headmaster. Came here straight from Oxford, never taught anywhere else.
Chipping, am I right in assuming that Brookfield does not field an officer training corps?
Heaven forfend, headmaster. We're trying to keep violence out of the school and bring it in.
I would remind our esteemed Latin master that German is a living language.
Which, of course, to many of us remains its chief problem.
Oh, is our esteemed chairman in this debate now aligning himself too closely with the traditions he teaches? After all, the Romans believed in dictatorship and in the opposing of belief and opinion under the guise of impartiality.
Gentlemen, I shall be brief. I feel as though I've spent the last few days touching the very fabric of Brookfield. And I regret to have to tell you I find the fabric somewhat frayed. We shall have some economies, stringent economies. Perhaps merge a house or two. In any case, we must all understand that Brookfield is a school, not a charity. As of next term, our fees will rise substantially. At the same time, we need to go out and persuade people of, dare I say it, newly substantial means that their boys will profit from attending Brookfield. And with this in mind, the curriculum will be modernized to meet the needs of such, shall we say, practical parents. Therefore, gentlemen, change all round. Well, that's all I have to say for the moment.
Headmaster, Brookfield has an honourable tradition of bursaries for boys of humbler means.
Indeed it does. Thank you, gentlemen. My initial report to the governors will be circulated. In the meantime, my door is always open.
Weatherby visited the staff room so often.
Almost every day.
Mr. Ralston has been once in 2 months.
What on earth? Divert previous forms of expenditure into buildings for the new disciplines. Science, sport, the future.
Yes, well, that's all very well, Mr. Ralston, but will allow us to be able to take over the business when I've passed on.
Former! Fix bayonets! The target will not be sitting or standing waiting. We'll run at you or away from you. Troop, bayonets at the ready. By the right, quick, march! On stride.
Heavens! Highcroft! Discipline this idiot!
Sorry, sir. Errand's fallen.
That was beyond impertinence.
Yes, sir.
Slowly, boys, slowly.
One moment, please.
Headmaster, I wish, if possible, to have a word.
Actually, Herr Staple, I was wishing to work with you. Do come in, Sir John. Yes.
He said he had Brookfield's best interests at heart. Must look around to see what's happening in the wider world. Climate of opinion. Chips. He more or less asked me to resign.
And did you?
Of course. I'm alarmed, I'm dismayed, but I'm not surprised.
What do you mean?
Chips, you must have divined that I and the subject I teach have fallen from grace in England.
Oh, Max, you mustn't think like that. And Brookfield must not be like that. For heaven's sake, the king himself is of German descent.
There's going to be a war. None of us can help such things.
Morning, Chippy.
Max Steffel must not be allowed to leave Brookfield.
Is this your concern?
This is monstrous. You dismiss a fine teacher on the grounds of prejudice.
Herr Steffel has offered his resignation.
Under the most appalling moral pressure.
He'd be the first to admit that his position is difficult. Boys will be boys. Nonetheless, an English public school has a clear duty to foster patriotism. Or would you not agree?
Headmaster, this school is above and beyond...
Herr Steffel at least has the sense to realize that if there's a war with Germany, his position will be intolerable. Anything else?
For those of us, like Max Steffel and myself, who have devoted our lives to Brookfield, your record thus far is disgraceful.
Disgraceful? Do enlighten me, Chipping.
I have asked you more than once to inform me as to how many scholarship students we may expect this year. I have received no answer. I suspect you mean to cancel the Brookfield bursaries.
Suspect? I can tell you that myself. I'm obliged by the governors to make economies.
Headmaster, at Brookfield, boys of lesser means are given a wonderful chance. Why are you destroying this? This is monstrous.
How old are you, Chipping?
I have no wish, nor any need to retire.
I may not see it that way.
I beg your pardon. It seems to me, Headmaster, that you do not possess the capacity to understand or respect the qualities inherent in a school such as Brookfield.
You're trying to provoke me, Chipping. I'm charged with modernizing Brookfield. We simply cannot, I simply will not adhere to styles of education that belong to the last century.
That may arise because you do not understand them. I find them most effective.
There'll be no place for them in the new Brookfield.
Sir! Must all your movement be towards the lowering of standards? This is intolerable. I disagree with you profoundly, and I do not see that I can continue to serve under you.